YouTube? Mark Kaufman here, and today I want to talk about the Buck 5.5. I've actually been carrying this a few weeks back since I got it, and I have to say it's a fantastic EDC. However, lately I have been carrying the Tinker Small in my pocket and a Cadet, and I have also been carrying, which it's over here, the Spyderco Clip It tool. So it's not getting as much pocket time as I expected it to, but I have to say, for the money, it's a beautiful piece of American craftsmanship, and it's a wonderful piece of American cutlery. But I had to make one change, and that was to the blade. I had to add a sharpening choil because Buck just doesn't add those. I added a very tight, small one here. Doesn't really change anything when you're cutting into anything. I don't usually cut this far back with my knives, but for me, I wanted to add a sharpening choil that keep all of this straight and where it needs to go. Now, this is a very, very tight knife. It's going to be very compact. It's actually smaller than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a little bit bigger than the Cadet, but it actually is about the same size as a Cadet. Let's compare it to a 91mm Victorinox. And I have to say, when I got it, I was very surprised at how small it was. When you see YouTubers reviewing this knife, everybody has different hand sizes, different glove sizes, and different knives. And when you see it put up against somebody else that has maybe smaller hands, it looks bigger. And when you have somebody with bigger hands, it looks like a tiny butter knife. I mean, it can be very different. So when you have very readily available knives to compare it to, I think that really gives an idea of what it's like. But let's say you don't have this knife to compare it to. Let's say you have a Fisher Space Pen. Let me see if it'll stay. There is your standard Fisher Space Pen. That's how big it is. So yeah, very compact knife, very tight, and then that should help you there. There it is compared to the handle. So very small knife. I have to say though, I've been enjoying it when I do carry it. It's very robust. I've been using this mostly in the garden. I use it to cut down, well, not really cut down, but trim or bud my roses. I use it to also cut out weeds. And one of the reasons why I use it for cutting out the weeds is because it's going to have a very sharp tip. It'll cut through roots, and it also has your back lock. So this is going to be a locking blade. And for me, that means work knife. It means a knife that I can use, slightly abuse. I'm not going to abuse this one for the sake of it, not only because it's a small blade and it's not a very thick tip there. For me, I feel like that could break easily, but when it comes to certain tasks, I've been enjoying it. Now, I have to say, this knife, compared to a Buck 110, I know they say that this knife is going to be its smaller cousin or its baby brother. I guess, personally, the way the handle is shaped, the way this knife is just shaped, the bolsters are shaped, the way it feels in the hand, of course it's going to feel differently. It's a smaller knife, but just the way this thing is shaped and the way the blade is shaped, I don't really see the resemblance to a Buck 110, but I get it. You know, you have brass bolsters, you have ebony wood handles, you have 420HC carbon steel. I mean, yeah, it looks like a Buck 110, it's smaller, but to be honest, if you were going to go with a smaller version of the Buck 110, I would just go with a Buck 112 and maybe save this for just your pocket dropping wants and needs. That's how I've been carrying it, but the reason why it looks so good is I carry it in this leather sheath. For me, I don't want it to get scratched up. I try to take care of my stuff, so I do carry it in that. But other than that, I mean, this thing is fantastic. It's robust, it's tight, and you have Buck's warranty. Anything that goes wrong with this knife, Buck will take care of it, or they will replace the knife, just depending on the situation and what happens. But I have to say, I have used Buck's warranty before, and I've had no problems. They will also sharpen the knife for you, and it has a lifetime warranty. If you want a new blade on it, you can send this to Buck and pay a small fee, and they will replace the blade if anything happens. So really what you've got here for $55 is a knife that you can hand down to your children and then their children's children. I mean, it is really a knife that you can keep for the ages. And because of its tight, compact frame and it not taking up a lot of room in the pocket, it's a very usable blade. So I thought you guys would enjoy my little review of the Buck 110, the Buck 5.5. I haven't been carrying it a lot lately just because I enjoy a little more utility in my knives lately. But when it comes to just having a really sharp blade, not much can beat Buck. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Till the next one, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.